Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Today taking a look at another Cantina alien figure, and that's going to be Dannik Jerriko from, well, A New Hope. So let's head to that table and check this one out. First up, a look at the packaging. He comes on that Post Original Trilogy Collection card. This was, as I've mentioned in other reviews, the line that came after the original Trilogy Collection, but prior to Revenge of the Sith, so they brought in some of the figures from the other movies as well. But what you get here is that black card with the silver Star Wars logo and racetrack running around the side. Just above the figure, you see his name, Dannik Jerriko, and then through the blister, of course, you see the figure with the included accessories. Down at the bottom, you got not the best photo for a character shot. I don't know why they wouldn't have just used the same image that they have on the back of the card, which is a still from the movie. But nonetheless, that's what they gave us here. And then to the right of that, you see Star Wars Cantina Encounter, being the scene that he's from. On the left side of the bubble, you got the Star Wars New Hope logo, since that's the movie he's seen in. And then on the right side, you got his name once again, along with 05 number 8, year of release, and the number in the lineup. And then for includes, he's got his removable proboscis, I don't know how you say that name, hookah pipe, blaster, and then base. On the back side, same look that you get for this line. Top half is basically a biography about Dannik Jerriko and what his little organ things do, which, holy cow, goes into the nose and ingests the person's blood and brain. Alrighty then. To the left of that, you get the image of him as we saw him in the movie. Below that, on the right side of the card, you do have an image of the actual figure itself with the accessories that you're getting. And down on the left side, you got 6 other figures that were also available in this line. And now taking a look at him out of the packaging, it's a pretty good looking figure. Definitely better looking if you leave his little, I'm just going to call them organs. I'm not going to try to keep saying that name, but it definitely looks better if you keep those little organs attached to his face. Otherwise, you're left with this. 2 additional holes in his cheeks. I really wish we would have gotten an additional head sculpt or something, or they just not do this, because we didn't see him this way in the movie. I get why they did it. In the expanded universe, he has these things. So I'm pretty mixed. It's nice to acknowledge the expanded universe material, but in this case, to not have him in, like I said, it just really takes away from the look. Otherwise, though, getting those back on, looking at the rest of the sculpting of the face, I think it looks pretty good, pretty representative of how he looked in the movie. Definitely got that messy hair sculpt going on. And even the sculpting to the face, you know, his face wasn't quite as, I guess, smooth. It did have a lot of bumps and ridges to his looks. Semi-decent paint job for the eyes. I like the coloring that they did, but it looks like my one eye is kind of looking off to the side a little bit. Probably hit and miss on any of the figures, really. And for the mouth area, you see he's got a 3rd additional hole in there, and that is where you can slide his hookah pipe in. It's a little large, but with the organs in, I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, it's a mouth, it's a hole. That's, you know, to be expected. I like that you can slide the pipe in there, but certainly like I mentioned already, without those organs in, those 3 holes are just quite noticeable. At the midsection of the figure, I think things are looking pretty accurate here. There's not much to the clothes he was wearing. As you can see, it's just overall kind of like this off-green jumpsuit that he has on. Aside from that, you know, you get your wrinkles and stuff sculpted in there to show some fabric movement. At the chest area, you got some seams for that coat with a couple little gray buttons painted in there. And at the cuffs of the sleeves, you got some gray buttons painted there also. At the belt area, you got a couple different colors painted in there. Black at the top and bottom of the belt and a little bit of brown running through the middle. Nice silver paint buckle painted in there, so things are looking pretty good there. On his right thigh, he's got the little hookah pipe holder thing sculpted in there. Brown painting to that is looking pretty decent. I got a little overspray or something on mine. On his left thigh, that's where he's got a holster sculpted in there, so you can slide that blaster that he comes with right in there. Aside from that, for the rest of the leg area, off to the sides of the pants, you get some gray stripes painted in there with a little bit of texturing to that, kind of like Han Solo's pants, just different color. And for the boots, sculpting's looking good there with some straps painted in. And it looks like he's got a little shin guard or something sculpted in on the front of those boots too. As far as articulation, the head's on a ball joint. That's going to spin all the way around. You're going to get just a little bit up and down. That hair just comes down too far. And same with that neck. So motion's a little bit limited there. But you get your wiggling side to side. For the shoulders, of course, they spin all the way around with no problems there. So for the elbows that I mentioned, they swivel. So, you know, if you want that elbow straight out, you can just bend it like that and then turn the hand. But it's kind of goofy looking still, you know. It doesn't really work the best. And then if you didn't notice already, those wrists do swivel all the way around. At the waist area, he's going to swivel 360. Good range of motion at the leg area where the legs come straight out. And even all the way back if you wanted to. At the knee, you got a single hinge there, so a good bend, 90 degrees there. And then they both also swivel around. As for accessories, as I mentioned earlier, he's got 4 of them. You got your action figure stand, the 2 organs that come out of his cheek, his hookah pipe, and his blaster. Starting first with the action figure stand, it's nice that they included it. It's got a foot peg here on the top, so of course you can set your figure in, holds it well. A little clip here on the side and on the back so that you can interlock it with the other bases that you get. As far as the organs that he comes with, they do, like I mentioned, just slide into his cheek area. It might take you a moment to get those slid into his cheeks because, of course, a little bit of tension as it slides in to help hold it in. And the plastic of those little organs are pretty soft. But you get them in, and they hold very well. Each tentacle has a unique sculpt to it, with the one having a little curl in the middle of it, and the other one being mostly straight out. As far as that hookah pipe accessory goes, it looks good. Has a nice sculpt to it, nice paint job with some silver and yellows in there. And as you can see, like I mentioned earlier, on that right thigh, he's got the little holster sculpted in there to hold that in. It does sit a little bit loose in there. Like if you're not touching it and you get it in there, it'll stay. But as you try to maneuver it around or try and put the pipe end into his mouth, it is going to keep falling out, or at least it is on me. Otherwise, the cable running from the bottle to the handle of the pipe is somewhat soft. There's already a predetermined sculpt in there for the shape of it. And then at the handle area of the pipe, sculpting's looking pretty good here also. Some of that gray in there. Some more silver painting at the handle area of the pipe, and then also at the, I guess, the pipe end itself as it thins out. I've been trying for a bit here to get that pipe in to go actually into his mouth while he's holding it. And with the articulation that we have, at least I'm not having the best of luck with that. But he still looks pretty cool holding it, even if you can't stick it in the side of his mouth. And you get the idea of it as being, hey, I saw that guy in the movie. And for the final accessory, it comes with a blaster. Overall, it has a very nice sculpt to it and rather unique looking. I don't know for certain, though, if this is a blaster that we've received with another figure already or not, especially since this is kind of a throw-in weapon. We didn't see him use a blaster in the movie, but it's nice that they included one here. You could slide the weapon in his right hand, but it'd be a little loose. Otherwise, though, it is his left hand that is sculpted to hold this weapon, and it holds it pretty well. And as I mentioned earlier, you can slide the weapon and keep it in that holster if you don't want him displayed holding the weapon in his hand. So overall, this is a good-looking figure. As I mentioned, I do kind of have that love-hate relationship with the organs coming out of the side of his face. He looks cool with them in, not so good with them out. As I've said before, Cantina figures are always great to get. Any aliens, for that matter, from the Star Wars universe. There's plenty that they could do, and it certainly just fills out the line. And so that wraps up this look at Dannik Jerriko. Really hope I was saying that name right this whole time. But anyways, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this figure in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.